My name is Amy Keenan. I am your host today from Insightful Accountant, also the woman behind the scenes of our Future Forward event. So if you did attend Future Forward last week, the 2 days, 8 great, amazing sessions, 8 speakers, we just had a ton of great content. So thank you for registering in or attending for that. If you did, you got the email yesterday with all of the recordings. Nico, are you ready?
Sure am. Thank you very much. Hi there, everybody. Hope you're all doing well today. I appreciate everybody's time here on the presentation. Start off, my name's Nico. I'm the Business Development Manager for Quadient Financial Automation. So with that, let's hop right into our presentation. So the presentation we're going through today is our Quadient Tap Into award-winning AP and AR automation. Really do like to engage with the audience, so please feel free to ask questions as we go throughout the presentation. You have the Q&A feature, and then we will have our poll shortly here at the start. So the plan is I'll go through a bit of an overview of who we are, our story, our ecosystem. We'll go into a quick demo of the AP and AR solutions, and then we'll talk about how you can get involved with us from a partnership perspective. So in order to really make the best use of the time, I'll put my poll up now. I want to get an idea of what you care about most when it comes to a partnership or working with a relationship with these softwares. So you have your poll on your screen now. What do you prioritize most in a partner? Is it a robust solution to meet your client's goals? Is it engage in informative support and resources? Is it a revenue share or set discounts for your clients? Or is it just about low maintenance and easy visibility? So as those responses come in, maybe our host could just let me know which one looks to be getting the largest response from the crowd here.
Robust solutions to meet clients' goals is number one.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. So then I'll really focus on our solutions themselves, which is awesome. That's a large part of this presentation. So that's great. So thank you very much, everybody, for contributing that into the poll. So let's hop right in here. So just to start off with our story, who are we at Quadient? So Quadient itself is a 100-year-old company, so been around a long time, billion-dollar company, over 440,000 customers worldwide. So it is a global company. It's a cool story for Quadient, really focused on customer experiences. They actually started off in the mailing solutions world with more of a paper-based business, and then grew into becoming the more digital communications automation software that they are today. So that's the background of Quadient, who we are, parcel lockers, mail-related solutions, but now it's really all funneled into that intelligent communication automation. So what they did was they acquired top-level brands. So one of our standouts when it comes to accounts payable and accounts receivable automation is that both of our solutions had already existed for over a decade. So we're one of really the only solution providers for both AP and AR automation that's doing both at the highest level. YayPay AR is now Quadient AR, and Beanworks AP is now Quadient AP. Within the last 3 to 4 years of the acquisitions, Quadient's invested heavily into the R&D of both products. So both products have grown and developed a lot over the last period of time. And we'll be focusing a little bit more on the AP solution today. So a little bit about that. Beanworks was founded by an accountant, Catherine Dahl, and she really was focused on making the lives of accountants better. So you'll see that as we go into the solution, a few little features here and there that was really focused on that user experience. So we've talked about how Quadient invested into the improvement. The slogan is really less clicks, so trying to make lives easier for everyone involved using the system. This slide here, I know it's a busy one. We won't spend too much time on it, but it's just referencing the fact that under the Quadient umbrella, even though we're focused today on our financial automation, we do have a lot of intelligent communication automation products that are offered around document management and delivery. Of course, the collections and payables that we'll cover today, but a few other products that the Quadient umbrella has. So when I send through the slideshow, you can take a further look at this slide. So to start off, why it's a good time to be partnering with an AP or AR automation solution. It is a really hot topic. 83% of accountants surveyed plan to invest in finance automation. And really what you'll notice here as we go into it is it's really around addressing the complex needs of your clients. So data is getting more and more complex, as Gartner predicts, and there is a shifting demographic in finance where more and more finance professionals and AP teams are leaving the industry, and there's not that increase of entries. So with automation, it's going to become really necessary for all the businesses that you work with. and the interest is already there. So when we say award-winning solutions, this is essentially the slide that we're referencing. So when it comes to both AR and AP automation, we're really one of the only solutions that's up here in the top right for technology excellence and customer impact. So you can see Quadient AP in the top right, that nice highlighted blue section for both AP and AR. And when it comes to working with partners like yourself, it's a huge focus of what we do. So the majority of our business and customers come through partnerships. We're consistently doubling both the pipeline as well as bookings year over year when it comes to those partnerships. So it's a heavy investment from our end. And essentially what you're getting is a dedicated partner resource with our team, really going to ensure your success as you use us or have your clients use our system. So now we'll discuss a little bit about the solutions. This was your top choice in the poll, which is great. So the accounts payable solution. So as you probably already know, AP has really four key processes. There's purchase orders, invoices, expenses, and payments. One of our differentiators in the industry is that we're an all-in-one solution. So there's tools out there that might just do one aspect of this. Maybe it's just invoice capture, maybe it's just payment release, maybe it's just expenses. We're encompassing everything under one solution, really meeting more clients' goals and needs and keeping it all centralized so there's less softwares in place. Similar when it comes to the accounts receivable, there's really five key processes in that. There is the credits, the credit applications, decisioning scorecards. There's collections, there's the customer portal, there's dashboards and cash application. So all of these are all handled as well through the accounts receivable solution. It's really, again, meeting a robust set of needs. So our solutions would be an add-on for the financial system to meet these complex goals that teams have when it comes to streamlining or automating their processes. This discusses a little bit more about some of the AP key features. So really centralizing AP for multiple entities, locations, departments, projects, however that needs to be structured. It does auto match, so we can match purchase orders and inventory receivings, which is typically a manual process. There's the approval routing, which we'll cover in the demo. There is the archive storage, so full 7 years of storage. It's also fully downloadable, so we're not holding any of your data away from you. You can download it at any time. You can then send your payments out to vendors with automated releases and then also manage the expenses. For the accounts receivable solution, it really is accelerating payments and automating the manual work. So what we find is it's paying customers about 34, or getting customers to pay about 34% faster with the tailored collection workflows within that solution, reducing the average days sales outstanding by 34%. And what we're seeing on average for customers is about actual 403% ROI over 3 years. That's because, again, getting money in the door faster is always better. And then additionally, the AR visibility. So the AR solution has an AI algorithm that is able to predict your cash forecasting at a 94% accuracy. So that's one of the highest in the industry there, which I'll show you when we get into the dashboards. Some of the areas where the solutions really are winning is the fact that they're all-in-one solutions, is the fact that they're full integrations. So regardless of the ERP, we're trying to make sure the data is flowing as high level as it can in real time with your financial systems. They're really strong fits when it comes to multiple entities and multi-ERPs. They're unlimited user solutions with flexible user roles. So that means that if you've outgrown your current solution and you need to be able to add more team members in, or your clients need to be able to add more team members in, we're going to be a really good fit for those needs. So that's just some of the key differentiators there. And then when it comes to the implementation, we make that process really easy. Typically, we're estimating about 2 to 4 weeks for a standard AP integration, about 4 to 6 for a standard AR. And then for any custom integrations, more in that 8 to 14-week timeline. Those are still some of the fastest in the industry when it comes to that setup process. And our team will be heavily dedicated to making sure the clients in your businesses are set up successfully for that implementation process. We do have a case study here. So this is Miko Companies Limited. This one, really the highlight of this case study that I thought was super cool was just that this company had tested out so many other solutions. So what their administrator told us was they had tried 3 different competing automation solutions for AP prior, and they really did find that our process improved their AP needs. So really they were highlighted on the auto capture that was taking place. It really is one of the highest accuracy rates for auto capture. And so thus they were able to focus on higher value tasks and be more efficient. So really the nice thing there was the the fact that they had actually tried other systems and they really did like ours. That was great to hear from a client. So with that, we'll hop into our demonstrations. I'll focus a little bit more of the time on the accounts payable solution, but I will spend a brief amount of time on the accounts receivable solution. So on everyone's screen now, it should say Beanworks AP and dashboard up at the top here. Let me know if that's not what everyone's seeing now, but that's the presentation that's now back up. So that's the AP solution. Quick view, this is the AR solution. So you'll see very similar layouts, modules on the left, dashboards in the middle. And then so with AP, it is an all-in-one solution. So expenses, purchase orders, invoices, and payments as mentioned. And where we'll spend a little bit more of our time here is we'll dive into the invoice module as the main focus point here. So with the modules themselves, you're going to see the workflows at the top. So that's each stage in the accounts payable process: in progress, pending approval, export. You'll see the search up in the top right. You can search anything to do with your invoices or bills within the platform. In the middle is your actual work queue or list of invoices for actioning within here in the system. Then at the top right, you can see your settings. One of the highlights here, as we discuss the layout, are these filters that you see here at the top. So whether you're housing multiple clients under an AP service instance of our solutions, or if your client themselves has multiple entities, this is where we're showing and structuring all those entities below. So you can have your parent company up top here, and then you can have your clients' entities below. For your clients, they're just seeing what applies to them. Or if this is a client that has multiple entities, they're just seeing the entities that apply for each user. So that's where that unlimited users and flexible users roles really comes into play. We don't want you to have different logins for all of the businesses or companies. You want to be able to see them all from one platform so that if you do want to review everything across the entire business, you are able to. But then if you do want to toggle into just one, you're able to do that as well. So as a system admin, you can see everything. As a designated user, you're just seeing what applies to you within the platform. As mentioned, please feel free to ask questions as we go throughout. I know there's a lot of different features and functions that I'll cover here today. You also have the status. So you can see the status of the invoice by the color associated, and you can adjust the columns on your screen here. So we have the status back here now. And then further, we can go into organizational units. So within those entities, you or your client might want to break down by departments, divisions, locations, projects, however you want to structure your organizational tree. We're able to mirror that within the system. So that's another spot that you can also designate the access for the users. So that way, if I'm a part of the marketing department, I'm just seeing the marketing invoices, and that way I'm not overwhelmed with any unnecessary information. The last thing here that's nice about these filters here at the top is these are what's going to become your custom reports or folders within the program. So you can filter off of any criteria. So you could do by due date, department, vendor, POs, however you want to associate these filters. And then you can save those filters for quick view access. So you can have as many filters as you want within the system. So if I want to have a save filter for a particular date period, let's have a date period for between last year and this year, just for simplicity. So now I can have that filter saved in the system, and then I can toggle into that whenever I want to. And now I have my last year report. So that's just one of the examples. Of course, you can get as nitty-gritty as you want with those details, and you can adjust the columns that are on your screen here. So if you wanted to add in your description field here, you could add that in. And if you wanted to add in the vendor field here, you can add that in. So however you want to adjust this, you can, and then you can drag and drop these columns. So really highlighting there the configurability or easy user experience for each user. So that's the layout of the system. I'll go into the workflow for AP. So when it comes to the business needs, typically we'll start off with the purchase orders. So with the purchase orders, they can either create the purchase order in our system, or we can sync or import those over from the financial system. This is optional. Each module is optional. So if you don't utilize POs or your clients don't, no problem. You don't need this module, but it is here for you if you do need. So you can have those come right in, and then you get visibility on your total drawn and remaining amounts as the invoice comes in and matches up. And that's where the PO module really gets that much more sophisticated, is because we already have that data in the system, when our tool facilitates the auto capture on your invoice, so the invoice can come in via email from the vendor, or we can use any scanner to scan it in, or you can take a photo right from your phone and upload it to the platform that way. When that invoice comes in, it'll automatically match the purchase order and inventory receivings to that invoice. So that way, here in my quick view, I can see my PO total was 6 grand, my invoice draw is 6 grand, and my receivings here, I can see that everything is lined up for what I ordered, what I received, and what I invoiced. As well, from the quick view, I can even see the invoice image right here. So a lot of quick view ease of access there. The system will also flag any discrepancies. So if there is a discrepancy between my receivings and my invoice, it'll highlight that red. So now I can easily see that the quantity invoice was 200 and the quantity received was 280. Then I can action accordingly. So one of the ways that the tool is saving time is with the reduction of manual data entry and manual matching processes, which can lead to manual errors. So when you click into our system, you get that nice big image of the invoice itself. You get your side-by-side invoice and purchase order match. And so a lot of solutions might capture just your header information, and then you're manually entering all your line item details, which is where your totals would live. We're capturing both header and line item information. So the company, the vendor, PO number, invoice date, due date, invoice number, as well as your line descriptions here. So your unit costs, your descriptions, your quantities, all of that is getting captured for you to eliminate any manual data entry and reduce risks of manual errors. Then when it comes to the coding, the system uses memory and learning for your coding. So if the coding lives on the PO, it'll fill in the coding based on the purchase order. If there's no purchase order for this invoice, the coding will be filled in the first time around by the AP team member. So they can fill in items, they can fill in GL accounts, whatever it is, fields that they need. The next time around, it's going to look at this vendor's invoice when it comes in the next time, and it's going to smart code those lines for you. So that way we're really reducing any manual steps needed, and this is becoming a review step. So this is how you're able to quickly grow and scale with the solution, is what went from being we need 5 different AP team members to do manual data entry, which can be a very time-consuming process. The system's now handling that, and your AP is just reviewing and focusing on higher value tasks. One other thing to note is you can leave comments within the system. So really good for audit review and reports here. Have everything within. Don't email outside of the platform. This keeps it all in one place, which you'll see when it comes to the audit report is particularly nice. And then from here, once we're happy with this, we can hit submit for approval. It'll notify the approver, hey, there's an invoice awaiting your approval. They can click on the link, which will take them to this screen here. So they'll see what's pending their approval. They can either batch, approve, or reject by looking at the table value data and the quick view. They can see the previous approval history if there's multiple approvers, or they can drill down and actually take a look. They'll see all that same stuff from before, the invoice, the details, any comments that were left, any matches or approval history, and then it's a big green light, red light. If they do reject it, it will prompt them to leave a comment as to why. So again, nice to keep everything within the platform. They can say exactly why they're rejecting it. It's in the system. So if this is your clients, this might be their AP team member sending it to the department approver. Or if you're managing the AP under more of a service parent account, this might be where you send it off to the client for approval, and now they're coming back. Or vice versa. You can also have the client look at it first, and then you look at it. We're really flexible on the way you structure the workflows within the systems. So once that gets its final green light, it'll move into the export tab here. This is what's going to sync it into your financial system. So you can see all those invoices. This can either be on a scheduled sync, or you can just batch select and export. There's no need to handle any sort of file between the two systems. It's going to send it directly in. It's going to look the same as if you had manually entered it in yourself, except no manual data entry needed. And then it'll live in your archive, which will be your digital filing cabinet. So again, this is another spot where you can really take advantage of the unlimited users. You can give read-only access to the archive for different entities or organizational units. So then that way they're not having to follow up and bother the accounting team with questions. They can come and find exactly what applies to their invoice right here. And then you can download a full report. You can do this on any of the tabs within the platform. So if I batch select and I want to download a PDF report or CSV report, you're able to do that at any time. I can include the approval history, the line details, the images. So now that report is generated for me by the system. and then we can review it. So this could be something that you pass off to another team member or maybe to the auditor. First page will have a clear summary of the invoices that we wanted to see. It'll have the grand total here at the bottom. And then since these reports can get long, it also has built-in hyperlinks. So you can just click on the invoice you want to see, take you right to it with the invoice image. It has the details in the top left. It has the coding, and it has the approval history with dates, users, and comments. So because this is always living in the system for you, there's really no more need to keep those paper processes around, no more need for filing. So if a company is going from paper to digital, this is going to be a big win for them with this easy download report. From there, for the invoices, they would then flow into the payments. So for the payments, this is where you can now actually send the payment directly out to the vendor. It will group them by the vendor. So if we go into our payments crate here, you can see that we have 2 invoices for vendor Airway. We can have our aging list of what's current, 30, 60, 90 days out to stay on track. We can batch select and then create those payments. That'll then move them into our payment in progress. You'll see that each module is really built out the same. It keeps training nice and easy. Once you know one, you kind of know how they're all going to flow. And then from here, again, we see all the same details. There's no real data entry needed for the payment. All the data already lives in the system, but you might confirm the bank account you want to pay from and the method you want to make. Put it through any check signing approvals that you might need. So your approvers can be in here, just like you saw with invoice approvals. And then you can release the payment out to the vendors, to the solution. And then it'll live here in your payments archive. So that's just a quick overview of payments. I am noticing that we are moving along for time here. So I'll wrap up with expenses and AR and then hop back into the presentation. So expenses is where employees can submit receipts in progress to reimbursed, or we can have reports in progress to reimbursed. So you can either have direct employee reimbursements handled through the expense module, or you can have a live company credit card feed come into the expense module, into the report in progress. So these line transactions will get populated as an employee uses that company card. The green means the employee's gone in and added the receipt image. The yellow means they still need to go add their receipt image. So in that way, they can't submit it until they have what's needed. You can determine what is or isn't required for the business needs. And then from there, it'll move into the submitted and then reimbursed categories. So that is the accounts payable solution at a high glance overview. With the AR solution, again, I won't spend too much time on it, but some of the main things we like to highlight with this system are the predictive analytics. So for the customer collections, this system is actually going to give a grade to all of your customers based off of their previous payment history and credit scoring. So then that means that we can now predict their payment forecasting. So Reardon here has an A, which means their collection workflows that get automated for them are going to be lower touch point. We are expecting them to pay on time. And then Stark Industry here, they're a red D, which means we're probably going to have more touch points in our collections process, more reminders for them, as well as it's going to affect the predictions. So where this is coming into play then is when we go down into the on-time payment projections. So this is that 94% accuracy. So this way you're really able to analyze and predict what's promised to be paid to you from your customers, what's projected to be paid, what's projected to be unpaid, as well as anything past due. So this report is going to become any accounts receivable controller, CFO's best friend, where they can see exactly what's coming into the company within the platform. Other charts and predictions here. The only other thing to kind of highlight, so the way that this workflow is going to work, we talked about how the AP invoice comes in from the vendor, gets processed and syncs into your financial system. With this one, the invoice gets created in the financial system. It'll then sync into the AR solution. And then this is what's going to facilitate all of the communication with the customer. So it'll send out the invoice, it'll send out the reminders and all of that. And the customer is going to have a portal where they can directly pay this invoice through the system. You can also have different workflows set up for each of your customers' needs. So however you want to structure these, you can have a low touch point, medium touch, high touch. We really want to automate as much of this as we can for the customer collections. And you can also handle the credit applications through the system as well. So you can send these directly out to your customers and actually use our credit form builder to have those structured. If I hit the credit application, you can see here we can actually create what they need to fill in for us and send it off. So this follows all security and compliance standards here for both AP and AR. And that's just some of the highlights of that system. So I see some questions here, which is great. I appreciate it. It means you're engaged. Regarding cost, great question. We can cover that if we set up a call together, be based off of different factors and criteria. Mostly going to be based off of invoice volume is the main factor for both of them. But good question there. And then how is this different than the AAR companies out there? Yeah, good question. So we have some of the differentiators in the slideshow. Some of the main things really are the fact that it's unlimited users. It does things such as the auto three-way matching, the expense reconciliation. So what you'll see with a lot of other systems is they're kind of just focused on one part of the process. We're able to do everything within AP and AR. But I'll send through the slideshow so you can see some of those differentiators in there as well. All right, so let's head back into our presentation here. All right, so the way that you can partner with us, there's a lot of different ways. I know we're coming up on the end of our time here. So really flexible ecosystem. Our partners are all global, which means that when you work with us, you can also have access to our other businesses that we work with. So a lot of different types here that you can see on your screen. You can have different tiers of partners. So you can be within the kind of silver, gold, platinum. You're getting a lot of amazing benefits with the system, but we're really making sure that each one is tailored for your business needs. You can be a partner who is influencing, reselling, or using the services, or you can be a partner who is integrating or connecting with the services as well. Some of the things that you can expect with us is so recognition. So with our partners, we are a system that's, as mentioned, trusted by hundreds of thousands of customers, and we are recognized in leading industry such as Gartner, Forrester, and IDC. So what that means is when we are working with you, you'll be up on all of our sites, and you're going to get that recognition as well. And overall, you can see some of the other highlights here around expertise, results, and go-to-market. I'd say the go-to-market is the coolest thing. That's where we really are structuring everything to make sure that your team's benefits, your team is successfully benefiting from the partnership. So you're not just getting kind of like a generic sales team. Our sales team is dedicated to partnerships. So we have a channel development manager who will work specifically with you. We have our channel marketing manager who will give you all the content and resources that you need. We have the sales reps and the account executives to get everything structured. So you can either be an AP service partner who has their own parent account in the system and adds your clients in as you go, then you can prorate out the services to your clients. Or you can be a more referral partner where you can just submit a client lead within the partner portal, and then we'll make sure that you get your clients' goals met and you collect your rev share or set discounts for your clients. So a lot of options there. I know that I went through the ending fast here. I tried to focus more so on the solutions as that was the core goal. So hopefully that rang true. And then you can see some of the information. Just send me an email if you want to learn more. I'll get you the pricing. We can set up what it would look like for you with the partner relationship. I'm the one that tailors all of our partnerships. So I'd be your main contact anyway. So take down my email. Give a scan if you want to book a demo directly, but otherwise I look forward to hearing from you.